about welfare. I mean, you've spoken and you took a lot of heat actually from a number of elected officials for suggesting this program called the Dignity Corps, which would take people who were on welfare also again voluntarily and put them into programs where they would get job training and also personal hygiene training. Can you expand on that again, please?
Well, we had a 15-minute conversation with an AP reporter who took it upon herself to select 3 words from that conversation and link them together and all of a sudden say that we wanted to take welfare people who had hygiene problems and put them in state prisons. It's all nonsense. The Dignity Program is an opportunity program. It's an opportunity program for the unskilled workforce out there that wants to work. Not only the people on welfare, but the people on extended unemployment benefits, the underemployed, and those unemployed who are not collecting benefits. These people want to go to work. They want to be earning. They want self-esteem. And this is an opportunity for them to reach, to find a pathway out of the world that they're sort of stuck in. And by giving them that pathway, we're going to be doing a lot of good for our society in distracting them away from the crime and the other social problems that have developed as a result of this recessionary times that we're in today when jobs just aren't available. The program would be multifaceted. There'd be a rural program, an urban program, a program for recycling. If the facilities where they would work are in their home community, they could still live at home. We're not talking about them going away. But if it's a forestry program and it's up in the mountains, well, we need facilities. And one of my suggestions was that we have these minimum security facilities, which for all intents and purposes are dormitory campuses with barbed wire around them. You take down the barbed wire and you have a campus. Up in Buffalo, we have the Western New York Developmental Center, which is a huge state complex that was there for disabled people. Well, since the state has just let the thing sit there and rot now, we could turn that kind of a facility into a place where this hybrid of CCCs, the Civilian Conservation Corps, where people can stay and people from out of town or whatever.
Okay.
It would be strictly voluntary as to what program they sought to enter. They could enter the military, they could enter the forestry program, they could enter the urban program.
Okay. Just a question, quick, if you don't mind. And again, I mean, it sounds very expensive. Where would the money for all of this come from? Because if, in fact, some of these facilities that you mentioned are moldering and have not been taken care of, then they would have to be fixed up. And then these people would have to be put there, they would have to be instructed, they would have to be clothed, they would have to be fed, they would have to be housed, etc. Where is this money going to come from exactly?
There's going to be an added cost, but that added cost, for the most part, the overall cost will be covered by what we now give as just a check. We give an unemployment check, we give a check for welfare. Also, in the recycling programs, there'll be income coming in the military programs. The federal government pays for the salaries. There are great opportunities here. And there's a lot of tweaks to be put to a program of this nature. They've adopted such a program in California. It's called the GAIN program. They're studying the program in the United Kingdom right now and how to implement such a program. This is an FDR program. FDR started it in the state of New York. FDR then carried it on to the national in the form of the Civilian Conservation Corps. And he did a lot of good things for people. And
have you checked to see regarding the legality of this particular program? Because it sounds to me that you would no longer be giving welfare benefits to individuals who participated in this program. Instead, they would be paying their own way.
No, we would compel those people on welfare who are able and don't have an exemption for one reason or another. In other words, if they have young children or they have a disability or they're elderly or whatever, okay, they'd be exempt. We're talking about the able-bodied, men and women. If they wanted to continue to collect a check, they would have to enter the program. The same with the unemployed. If they wanted an unemployment check, they'd have to enter the program. And then get an earned check instead of an unemployment check.
Okay, so that doesn't sound voluntary. It sounds that you're saying it's...
No, that's not voluntary. The type of program they enter is voluntary.
I see.
Okay, they can choose which program they want to enter, but that would be compulsory. Some people want to go to work. Others, it's been generations since they have worked. We want to give them all an opportunity, and some people we're going to have to push into this, but hopefully we'll allow them a pathway to a more fulfilling life.
Okay, you know, a lot of your ideas are quite controversial and unconventional, and in order to get anything done in Albany, you need the legislature. I mean, there's a certain degree of power that a governor has through executive orders, but something like that, I mean, there are federal regulations, there are state regulations. I mean, let's assume that it was legal, federally speaking, but the legislature would have to play ball with you. And already you have set yourself up to have a really difficult relationship with the Speaker of the Assembly. I mean, you said that you supported the Erie County Executive's comments that basically suggested that Sheldon Silver was like the Antichrist. He's an Orthodox Jew. Do you still stand by that comment?
I discussed the comments, and in my discussion of those comments, I said that I advised Chris Collins not to apologize because I know Chris Collins and he meant no ill will by those comments. He was not looking to describe or in other words, to characterize the entire Jewish community. He was looking to tell what a diabolic human being Mr. Sheldon Silver is, and that's what he was doing. And Mr. Silver is such a person. He is the kind of person that has great difficulty understanding service to all of New Yorkers because he's one of these pay-to-play guys. And he's right involved with it, and yes, I will not be dealing comfortably with him at all. I will be dealing, hopefully, with representatives who are there to serve the people and not to serve this feeding at the trough, which Mr. Silver is about.
Okay,
we're going to take him down.
And
we're going to get rid of him.
How are you planning to do that exactly?
We're going to make it very untenable for his caucus to keep him as their leader.
And how would you do that?
Watch me.
Could you be more specific? Could you be more specific, please? I mean, he is elected
it'll be as simple as the budget. It's going to happen in the budget process. You see, I'll give them a budget on February 1. They'll have 60 days to deliberate that budget. I'll warn them on February 1. Don't take more than the 60 days, fellas, because the government will shut down. And don't call my bluff, because I don't bluff.
Okay.
The government will shut down if they don't give me that budget back. And when they do give me the budget, they can take out anything they want from my budget. But everything they add back in, I have a line item veto. And as long as I have 1/3 plus 1 in either one of the houses, all right, that's the end of this ruling class. I'm going to take away the money, and you take away the money, you take away their power. And that'll be the end of them.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're basically suggesting that you would starve the legislature into submission?
I'm not going to starve anybody into submission.
Financially
Some state
speaking.
workers,
Financially speaking.
If the legislature fails to give me a budget by March 31st, the government will shut down except for police and health, the health and welfare of our people.
And so I'm sorry. And
you can take that to the bank.
And you would shut the entire government down for how long then?
As long until they gave me a budget. Until the people, I guess, cajole their legislators to pass the budget and send it back.
That didn't work so well at the federal level during the Clinton years. You're not worried about a backlash about that?
No, I think the people of the state are ready for it. They are so fed up with this government that they are ready.